In the building. I know
Okay.
everybody happy that we got that new intro in there. Larry got his picture in there. He in the limelight now. You see him cheesing. He's smiling. He happy as hell now. You got
Man, look,
we
hey,
we good. We in the
That means
building. We
Larry's
good,
getting
man.
royalties now. Way to go, Larry.
it only took
Maybe
2 years.
we gotta cut the check.
It only took 2 years.
Listen, I pushed for you, man. So don't even hate. I said we got to get him in there. But no, I'm glad everybody's here. Welcome to the Executives Represent Total Sports here on a Tuesday. Cold up in the East Coast. If you're on the East Coast, yeah, I had snow flurries up here today, so you know it's cold up here. But we in the building. I'm holding it down. Sirius is at the Taylor Swift concert, getting it in, so he ain't gonna be able to join the show today. But I do have a sleigh, a bunch of co-hosts that are here in the building. LG's in the house. What up, LG?
What's up, man? Go ahead and say it right, man. He at the Britney Spears concert, man.
Exactly.
He fake working.
He ain't working. You know he ain't working. He working
No.
with his like, so doing his Carlton dance. And Unk's in the building. Unk's in there. What's up, Unk?
Nothing much, bro. Nothing much, man. Just waiting to talk about how terrible Aaron Glenn is, but we'll get to that later.
Oh God, we can do a whole show. You need your own channel for that. I can't.
Hey,
Just for him. Just for
okay, bro,
You got
Jets
win 2 in a row,
won.
and you still mad?
Yes, I'm just saying, bro.
Come on, you win 2 in a
Everybody
row.
else took
You
an
mad?
L
You
except for your
winning?
Jets.
Listen, I hold the grudge till 10 days after I'm dead, just in case I get to come back as a zombie.
You hold the mic like a.
Can we say winning streak in New York?
No.
Yeah. Any one win is a streak. That's it. In New York, I mean, please. And we got breaking news in the building. Breaking news. What's going on, baby?
What's good, boys? You know what? It's nice to talk football. As you guys know, I dive a little deeper into football than the other sports, and I got to tell you, man, as a guy who's really into football, and we all know, like 12:01, like you get a flurry of signings. Baseball has to have the most anticlimactic start to free agency. It's like it starts, and then it's like we'll see in a month.
Yeah, well, our Giants, the Yankees GM ain't even showing up to the
I
meetings.
know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, all right,
Yeah. But I mean, listen, I got to start the show off really. I'm sorry to start on a somber note. I mean, I listen. If you know somebody that is struggling with mental health and any kind of issues like that, please reach out and be an aid to them. The death of Marshawn Keelan over the weekend was really heartbreaking. That situation out there in Dallas. Prayers to his family and friends, and then there was a lot of other deaths around the sports world. Lenny Wilkins, a two-time Hall of Famer as a player and a coach, passed away. Paul Tagliabue, one of the he died at 84 years old. He was a commissioner of the NFL for all your young bucks that don't know. And then one of my brother's favorite Knicks, and I know CK has a fondness for him too. Michael Ray Robinson passed away also.
Richardson.
80, Richardson, I'm sorry, Richardson. I apologize. Thank you. But he passed away as well. So I don't know if anybody wants to say anything really quick before we get going. But I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Marshawn Kirk.
Hey, Barry.
Yeah,
Hey, wait. We got to stop, man. We got to give our applause for man, Uncle Vet, man. It's Vet's Day.
Yes, and it is Veterans Day, man.
Veterans
Thank
Day,
you
bro.
to all the veterans to your
Unc.
service to this country. Your bravery is not going to go unforgotten, and we appreciate everything you've done. So that I got to thank you for putting that in there too. There's so much I had to do it, and so little time I have to do it, but I appreciate
That's all right.
you.
I try not to watch sports today because this is when all the sports leagues try to make merchandise off of veterans and never mention this again for the rest of the year. So I appreciate it, guys. I'll start with the people that I ain't really got a whole lot of nice things to say about. Tagliabue, who spent his entire career trying to hide the fact that the CTE stuff was there, who spent his entire career fighting against lifetime medical for NFL players. So I ain't got nothing nice to say about that man. Nothing. So I'm just going to keep it pushing. The kneeling thing is complicated for me because at the end of the day, there's a whole lot of people with mental health issues that aren't running from the cops. Okay? So it's complicated for me because You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. You know, maybe if you don't run from the cops, maybe you still here. That doesn't negate the fact that health issues, but let's not gloss over the fact that why are you running from the cops, bro? You know, Michael Ray Richardson, bro. If you never saw Sugar Ray play, you have no concept of what outstanding talent is. He's one of the most talented players that ever played in the NBA. Had he not sniffed up every line, including the white lines on the court, he would have been a no doubt Hall of Famer. No doubt.
Those guys.
He would have been a guy, honestly, that when you talk about pure physical skill set, he had more physical skills than Michael Jordan. He could jump higher. He could play better defense. He was a better shooter. He just couldn't stay. He couldn't stay sober. He couldn't. Yep. This is a man who went to Montana, University of Montana Grizzly, where he graduated from, 1978. Drafted by the Knicks. It's crazy because Knicks fans went from Earl and Clyde to Sugar Ray and Ray Ray. You know, so it was for me. That was some of those teams with him on them were terrible teams. Those are some of my favorite teams. Those are the teams that made me love the Knicks. Those teams with him on it, they made me love the Knicks. So you know, it's a lot. And Lenny Wilkens from the planet of Brooklyn. You know, I'm old enough to have seen Lenny Wilkens play, player, coach, and then be terrible as a coach with the Knicks. But everybody's terrible as a coach with the Knicks.
Everywhere was terrible at that point in time, right? But great Hawks coach.
Lenny Wilkens with the Seattle Supersonics. People forget won a championship, went to 2 championships back to back. Won one, lost one against Washington Bullets when the Washington Bullets were still good. That team was amazing. You know, you had Johnny Johnson, Gus Johnson, Dennis Johnson. Oh, man. Lenny Wilkens, above all being a great coach, Lenny Wilkens is one of the best human beings that you could have ever met in your life.
Absolutely.
There is not one person who ever met Lenny Wilkens who's ever had a bad thing to say about him. And to me, that tells me way more about you than what you did with your sports accolades. When I can run into anybody that's ever met you and not one of them got nothing negative to say about you, you're a great human being. So rest in peace to Lenny and Sugar Ray, and you know, y'all go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all, because I know my mama watching. So no, I'm kidding. Listen, if anybody else has anything to chime in on, we can leave that there. You know, I think Paul put it pretty eloquently. You know,
I mean, I came in on the back end, but like, dude, I remember seeing, you know, these stories about Michael Ray Richardson playing overseas and him playing pickup games and stuff like that, right? And my thing was, because I don't want to get into some of the other ones, but my thing was how you see guys who their whole career may not have been in the NBA, their career may have been overseas. Not the fact that this dude has won championships overseas, and he don't even come up in Hall of Fame consideration. Not even a little bit. And he's actually been reinstated. He's been reinstated. Don't even bring this guy's name up. That's the more egregious thing to me. I'll jump in on the Nealon thing. This was my thing. And I can say it's gonna be more details coming out. You know, now they're saying he was struggling with some stuff with his mom. These guys get put up for routine traffic stops all the time. Jerry Jones is the king, emperor, Michael Jackson of Dallas. If you get pulled over by a Dallas cop and you play for a Cowboys, more than likely, we're probably never going to hear about it unless you did something really, really bad. And if you did something bad, you know what they're going to do? Oh, man, we don't want to piss off Jerry. And it's probably going to be dismissed. We talked about it on the show. We was like, hey, look, Rasheed Rice got into some trouble in Dallas. You know what? He got a slap on the wrist. I'm quite sure it was some phone calls being made. And to see that it led to that, I'm kind of like CK. I think it's more to this story than what has came out. Hopefully, you know, it is what it is. And I say that hopefully it is what it is because it could be something more egregious, you know, because it doesn't add up. it doesn't. It's not adding up. And sometimes it's not meant for us to add it up, but it'll come out, and we'll double tap on it. But I want to say a couple of prayers for his family.
Absolutely. I mean, it's unfortunate, man. It all hit at once. When I saw Lenny Wilkins pass, I was like, man, damn. And then it just kept cycling through. Brian, I'll let you, if you want to say anything, go ahead. If not, we can keep pressing on.
No, I'll just keep it real short and sweet. I think that they've done an eloquent job, but anytime you see a 24-year-old man die, it's a shame, right? Like he had a whole life ahead of him. And I know Unc has said, there's lots of people struggling with mental health out there that don't make bonehead decisions. But I would just say on the other end of the spectrum, there's a lot of guys and gals that could be going through a lot of things. And, not just from a mental health standpoint, but, we haven't gotten a toxicology report yet. Was there drugs involved? Was there, we don't know, because you could be a perfectly sane individual. I had a very, very close friend of mine that got addicted to heroin and became somebody that I didn't recognize. So I'm just saying, as you guys know, drugs make even the most mild-mannered person do strange and odd things. And I pray for his family, his friends, and even Cowboy Nation. It's a very, very sad tragedy. And, I hope some good comes out of his death. I hope they publicize, more mental health. And I hope that they, whatever the underlying circumstances are, they talk about it. Because the one thing we don't do that often in this country is talk about difficult subjects.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's tough, man, because I mean, my family's dealt with, suicide and all that kind of stuff. So, mental health. And, I think as men, I think it's much more open that, we're able to go out and, hopefully ask for help if we need it. It's okay. You know what I mean? To admit you do have, mental health issues, or you just having issues in general. So prayers up to everybody involved in all those tragic, losses, and prayers to the family. I'll move on. I'll stick to the association because we talked about it a little bit in the green room. Obviously, big news today: the Mavericks fired their GM Nico Harrison after a meeting with the principal owner, whatever you call him. Yeah, I don't know what you call that guy. But
they call him the governor now, whatever that.
The means. Governor, right? Yeah, the governor, Patrick Dumont. They had a meeting today, and then after the meeting this morning, basically he got fired. And, there has been screams and cries ever since the Luka trade. That's when this is all come out that, not come out, but like Nico Harrison was, being called to be fired. The fans got louder, much louder. They had fire Nico chants at the latest game, and today was the last straw. So I'll go around the room. Unc, I'll start with you, seniority, royalty. The news broke today, Nico Harrison out as GM in Dallas. Give me your thoughts on that.
I think it's terrible. Because first of all, when you trade what is he, 26, 25 at the time?
25, 26, something like that, yeah.
At franchise generational talent, that doesn't come from a GM. If a GM now, unless that person has gotten arrested for something, god awful, something involving children, or he's on film, beat the hell out of his wife, they ain't letting him go. Everything else, ownership is going to be, listen, we can work with that.
Right.
Ownership decides when a player like that moves. That doesn't. If the GM walks in and says, "I want to trade him," they say, "Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Hey, there's a news conference with such and such team today. They've just fired the GM." Okay,
right.
You get fired on the spot, bro, because he's the brand. He's bringing in money. He's selling jerseys. That's why you get national TV games. The money that Luka Doncic brought the Dallas Mavericks, they don't talk about because they don't show you those books. Yep. So that conversation starts in the ownership box, not the general manager's box. It starts in ownership's box.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they only talk to the Lakers again, that's an ownership decision. Because they could have said, No, we want a haul. They were like, no, we want to get rid of him. And not for nothing, I don't believe that Luka would be the Luka we see with the Lakers had he not gotten traded. He needed this wake-up call. He needed it.
Absolutely. He needed to be humbled.
Yes, because he was allowed to do whatever he wanted in Dallas with Mark Cuban. Because see, Mark Cuban was there when Luka was first drafted. So they basically gave him the run of the. And those of you with children understand this. If you let a spoiled child be a spoiled child, at a certain point, ain't a damn thing you can do with that kid. All right?
Right.
You say no all you want. That kid gonna wear you down because you're gonna give in, and they know you're gonna give in. So for Dallas fans to keep talking about Nico Harrison, how stupid are you? How uninformed and short-sighted are you? And then the backstory with this firing is what's his name? Dumont? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Was that the game?
Dumont.
Right? He's sitting with a fan. The fan's in his ear all night. Oh, Nico this, Nico that. He tells the fan, and this is being reported because they want it to be reported, keep that in mind, that he told the fan, I understand, I'm going to take full accountability, we made a mistake. And then you fired the GM. Where's the accountability in that, bro? Now, I get it. Honestly, Nico couldn't stay there. It was untenable because no matter what he did after that move, the fans were gonna complain about it. I get that part. But can we stop pillorying this man and slandering him and acting like he went out without nobody knowing and said, hey, Rob Pelinka, check this out, bro. Listen, I'm going to give you Luka for Anthony Davis. Don't tell nobody, though. Mm-hmm. Right? And then he made a trade, and the ownership was like, oh, my God, you traded Luka? Why didn't you tell us? Come on,
yeah.
Man.
It was dirty how they did him. Like, basically, ownership, I agree with you, made that trade because no trade at that level doesn't go through ownership. That you trade a franchise player, that has to have ownership all over it. And then you push him out there and had everybody remembers that press conference after the trade and had him out there, trying to explain it. And it was like, well, I just, I'm just here so I don't get fined type joint. You know what I mean? Like, they had him out there explaining it and he couldn't explain it because it wasn't his move, but it has to look like his move. I mean, Brian, talk to me about Nico Harrison losing his job today. Like, what's your opinion on it?
Well, I mean, listen, you guys have already summed it up. I mean, he's a patsy. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, here's the difficult thing. Here's the difficult thing to kind of understand, right? Even if you're a reasonably educated fan, like, remember that the Dallas Mavericks were coming off of a finals appearance where Luka was like a finals MVP. Like he was the guy, and they were like a game removed from winning it all, and they're like, you know what? Let's blow this up. Like, I think really what it boils down to, this is just my opinion. Obviously, I don't know any more or less than anyone else, but the two things that I got out of it, and Chandler actually hit on one. I don't think Luka, as much as he said he wanted to be there, I don't think he wanted to be there, and they couldn't get him to play consistently hard other than the playoffs. So, you remember how they were talking about how Luka had multiple games where he missed due to injury, and like it was like the most of his career? Man, you go back and look at some of those injuries, it's like, could he have played through that? Like sore elbow, like, ding knee. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you're on a championship caliber team, you were a Western Conference final, team, like, you would expect something a little bit different from your superstar. And I do agree with Chandler. Like, I think Luka, if you look at the last year that he was in Dallas and you look at what he did last year for the Lakers, different dude. Like, he's reinvigorated. He's playing defense. He's rebounding. Like, he's trying. And it just sucks because Nico is basically taking the fall for really what I think what it boiled down to is I feel like the inmates were running the insane asylum, and I feel like management needed a reset. I really do, because whether he's your superstar or not, you can't have your top tier players that all the other players are going to look at bad mouthing your organization, saying that, this team doesn't know how to run a franchise. You can't have somebody creating that narrative. But like you said, I mean, perfect example, like you said, clearly this was an ownership move because the day after the move was made, when everybody just shoved a mic in front of Nico's, but he was like, yeah, we want to get more defensive. That's all he said. We want to become more defensive. Well, I don't know if you noticed, listen, Anthony Davis is a good player. Like, I'm not taking anything away from him, but he's not a world beater at this point. And at this age, as far as the defensive MVP anymore either. So to me, the trade just never made sense. I mean, you basically got Anthony Davis and a first round pick for a 25-year-old kid that's going to be a superstar for the next 5 to 6 years. It really made no sense. And to be honest, as a Lakers fan, I'm all about it, as you know. But it just seems like, the difference between the NFL and like the MLB and the NBA is you notice how in the MLB and you notice how in the NBA, all the quote unquote superstars always end up in the major market teams. That's why like when we were talking about Giannis, I was like, there ain't no way in hell he's gonna stay with the Bucks, right? Like, there's no way he's staying with them long term, and so it's like, I don't know. Look, maybe I know nothing, but I'm just saying, if you look, Otani was always going to go to the Dodgers. Like Garrett Cole was always going to go to the Yankees. It's just like, it doesn't even matter if the money's the same. They want the prestige. They want the honor of being in that big market team. And I think in basketball, it's similar. NFL is really the only sport where market size really doesn't matter. Because you have to remember, like, what they make contractually is one thing, but when you are a player on a big market team, think about the sponsorships, the deals, all the clout. You're not telling me, listen, I know Luka was a superstar with Dallas, but you're not telling me as the perennial superstar of the Los Angeles Lakers that he's not getting deals and opportunities that he didn't get before. I feel like Nico got absolutely just ran over in this deal. And I think if he could have actually had the ability to say yay or nay, I mean, literally any reasonable GM would have vetoed that deal. I mean, let's just be honest. Like Chandler said, at the very least, okay, I'm going to move him. You know what? I'm contacting every team and saying, hey, give me your best package, and I'm going to play your package versus Barry's package versus Larry's package. Like, I'm getting the best deal. They didn't even do that. Like Chandler said, half the league didn't even know the deal went down until it was already reported. So it was kind of a handshake. That's what I'm saying. It was kind of a handshake, back alley type deal. So I don't know. I feel bad for the guy, but unfortunately, this kind of stuff happens way too often in sports.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you unpacked a lot in your note there, and honestly, the one thing I can say is, why is Luka playing like that? Because he came into the season in shape. He always uses the season to get in shape, and then is in shape before the playoffs, and that was his biggest problem. I personally would not want him on my team. I didn't think it was a bad move. I think you could have got more from him if you were going to trade him. But I wouldn't want him on my team because he was out of shape, didn't play defense. And those soft tissue injuries, there's always because he's out of shape. And you guys know that. So do I think he's a phenomenal player? Yes. Do I like his style of basketball? No. I'll be totally honest with you. He's a ball stopper. It's boring to watch. He's kind of, the kids love it, but that ISO ball with the, it's not basketball to me. Chandler knows, watching the Knicks right now with the ball movement is pretty basketball to watch. I can't watch Luka play basketball. I really can't. LG, talk to me, buddy. Nico Harris out as the GM. Did he get a raw deal or what?
Man, everybody got to have a fall guy. I mean, I'm just saying. Everybody got a fall guy, man. Dude, and he's. I mean, some of these dudes, I'm gonna be like this dude. I don't feel bad for some of these like GMs and coaches and stuff because he's probably gonna get paid like $50 million to like just go away. Like, I'm not feeling bad for nobody who's getting paid crazy money to just go away. Yeah, and maybe I'm just that guy like that, but I'm gonna just say this. You ever heard that word called conspiracy? CONSPIRACY. conspiracy. Right? Dude, conspiracy, bro. Dude, you know why I said conspiracy on so many levels? Brian, you hit it on the head, man. The NBA has always, they love their stars in their major markets, right?
Yep.
In LA.
No.
LA or Boston. LA or
Boston. Yeah.
It's
No,
always
they're fine
LA.
with Boston. They're fine with Boston. They're fine with LA.
The Miami.
No, they
it's
fine always with LA. Yeah, Miami.
They fine with certain places, right?
Yep.
So I'll say this, right? We all remember the Chris Paul trade. The Chris Paul trade got vetoed.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Why this trade didn't get vetoed? You got LeBron, who's on the back end of his career. The Lakers basically didn't have no first round picks.
They had no assets, Larry.
They had no assets. They was in cap hell. So did you want to see the Lakers go into the Nick Van Exel era again? Because we remember how bad that was. Yeah. You remember when they first had Nick Van Exel and just got
Nick Young era.
And Eddie Jones.
Yeah, them teams wasn't.
But Eddie Jones could ball, he could
but
play,
them teams
man.
was not that good.
Them teams were trash.
Right. No, you're right.
These were trash. So I think that there was more to it because you don't have a trade that's this big go down, not just with the ownership knowing about it, but also the owners not knowing about it.
Right.
And it get pushed through. Because if I was the owner and I said, wait, you made a trade and you didn't even put it on the wire to let everybody else know this guy was available, I'm pissed. Unless the league stepped in and said, hey, look, we got to put somebody in that market, send that discreet message out to all 32 of the teams and say, look, y'all be hush about it and act like y'all don't know about it. Like I said, it has all the writings on the wall, right? And then the fact of the matter, Dallas, I mean, I have to say it like this, dude. I don't think that Dallas came out bad in this deal. Because remember, if Luka was on that team last year, it's no way in hell they would have got Cooper Flag. No way. No way. I don't look at this trade as bad as other people look at it. Like Luka, if you think about it, the time Luka got traded, he was fat and out of shape, and he was coming up for an extension. If you're a small market team, do you want to pay $400 million to a guy who stays hurt and fat and out of shape, even if he is 25-year-old superstar? Do you really want to come off that money, or do you want to say, you know what, we worked out this gentleman's agreement, but we'll send Luka to the Lakers, and y'all ensure that we get this number one pick with the next quote unquote generational talent coming out?
Funny how that worked.
Just funny how that worked out. Dude.
Get you that stimulus package, right?
But Larry, isn't it fair to say though that if the trade would have been open to all NBA teams, they would have gotten a better package. They still might have sucked, and they still might have gotten the same player.
But Brian, Larry's right. Like they didn't want him to get a better package.
No. Listen, I understand that. We've talked about that, but he said, I don't feel like they got a bet. What I'm saying is, anytime you sell yourself short, like I promise you, they could have gotten a better haul.
There's a difference,
right? That's all I'm saying.
Bad and worse.
They wouldn't have been
between bad and worse.
Yeah, no, I get what you guys are saying. Hindsight is 20/20 for sure.
Yeah, I don't think they got a bad trade. Could they have gotten a worse trade? Maybe. But could they have gotten a better trade? Hell yeah. We all know they could have got a better trade for Luka. But if like I said, if they work in those back end deals and they say, you know what, hey, look, we're gonna ensure that you get this number one pick and Cooper Flag is coming out. Yeah, I'm gonna make that Luka trade because dude, Christie has actually played good.
Yeah,
he has been when he's healthy, he's really good. I think that people are in an uproar because they looking at this Mavs team and they're like, oh, they're 3-8 and this and this. This Mavs team will be 3-8 with Luka because, like I said, AD's been hurt, Kyrie's still out. Cooper Flag, I don't like the way that they're using Cooper. I don't like the way that they're using Cooper. So
he's playing the point, right?
Yeah,
he was not a point in college, and you're asking this guy to play point, right? Dude, like real talk, and me and we talked about this before, right? Even the Spurs, they don't have Harper playing point. He's playing off, dude. Even what's his name, DJ in Phoenix, in Philly, he's not playing point. Maxi's running point. He's playing off, and you're seeing these guys thrive. He's not a point, and that's one of the reasons why they're struggling. He's trying to learn how to set up guys, how to run the offense. He's not. He handled the ball some at Duke, but he was not the point guard.
That was not how. That wasn't his game.
No,
he was.
That wasn't his game.
Right.
And Dallas doesn't really have a point, right, Larry?
They don't.
Really.
They not really, kind of quote unquote. They could let D'Lo run it, but he's not really playing that much.
You don't want D'Lo running nothing.
But I'm just saying, in general, I think that's why they really was like fire Nico, because the team is struggling. If this team would have came out the gate, 8-3, it wouldn't have been no rumbling on it. But it's because of the fact that they 3-8, and now the Lakers are winning and all this other stuff. And Brian, you can excuse what I'm saying, bro. I don't think Luka's gonna maintain this the full season. I don't think it. His own ball defense is still, to be desired. When it gets late in the season, them legs gonna really start feeling a little bit slower and sluggish. But yeah, dude, I think at the end of the day, he's a highly paid scapegoat, bro. And
but the only thing for me, Larry, is he's never gonna get a GM job ever again.
He don't need one. He probably got to open.
He got cut a check. Unless he got cut a really good check, that's the part that bothers me, because no one's ever gonna hire him again. Because try to bring him into your organization, and he traded Luka. You can't bring him in.
Boy. But Rob Pelinka's his boy, so he's gonna have a Lakers quote unquote front office position in 2 years. Once his contract is up,
he's never gonna be a GM again. And listen, those jobs are coveted, bro.
I wouldn't care. Put me as one of those 23 vice presidents in the Lakers front office, and they're gonna be like, it wasn't a Jeannie Buss decision because she's not running the team anymore. He's gonna be VP of parking lot attendance or something.
Hey, I got a question for you boys, because I know you guys watch basketball a whole lot closer than I do, but I had to kind of do a double take. So Pistons had 14 wins all last year. They're 9-2 right now. Are the Detroit Pistons, are they real? Like, what do you guys think?
Pistons were a playoff team last year. The Pistons are good.
Yes.
Like we said it when we previewed the season. When I did the Knicks show, Chandler, we did the Knicks show together. Pistons are a dangerous team. They're a good team. Cunningham is playing out of his mind right now.
Jalen Duren,
Ivy,
taking the next step, bro.
Yeah, they got a really good young team. So, I mean, there's a lot of surprises in the league to start so far, and they're at the top of the list. I mean, one of the surprises is, like, I'm watching the Knicks and Memphis game, how bad Memphis is playing, and John Morant's a pain in the behind again. But, and I think you talked about the Suns too. But yeah, the Pistons are legit. They are a good team. And if you're from the D, the 313, I know like coaches, like you're happy about that because Pistons have Detroit has been dying for that team to be really good for a while. Yes. I mean, I don't know if anybody else want to chime in on that.
I lived in Detroit for about 6 months, bro. Let me tell you something, man. They've been starving for a decent team, right? Yeah. This team is borderline great.
Yeah,
they're amazing.
Could easily be the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. Easily be number one seed. Now, I don't trust the coach because he has, for whatever reason, he's got an issue with Jalen Duren. All right, whatever.
Who's the coach?
Who is? I can't remember who the coach is. I can't remember. But I know last year there was a lot of stuff coming out about him and Duren. If they've got over that,
Bickerstaff, boys.
Bickerstaff,
Thank you.
Yeah, JB Bickerstaff, who I don't like his father, so I don't like him. It is what it is, bro.
Unc don't like nobody. Unc don't like nobody. I mean, I'm not surprised. If I don't like your daddy, I don't like you. If he, your mama named Clay, I'm gonna call you Clay. Like
listen,
Unc don't like me sometimes. He still called me and messaged me. I love you.
I'm very petty.
I don't like it, but I like
the one thing too, just like the reason why I asked you boys is because you look in the East, there's a lot of teams that are really good at home, right? Like the Knicks, 6-0 at home, horrible on the road. You look at Detroit, like you look at the metrics and the numbers, they're just as good on the road as they are at home. Like they're playing good basketball. That's why I asked. I was like, they're consistent on the road. They're 4-1. They've got a good scoring differential on the road. just like they do at home. They rebound really well. So that's why I wanted to ask, because as a casual fan, you're not used to seeing Detroit at the top in the East.
Well, they're not on TV right now, right? So,
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to see them much. And then I'm going to bring Coach in. He's been chiming in, but like Cunningham is an all-star starter right now.
Yes.
Like he's 27 and 9 assists. Like
Mhm.
he's legit. And Duran's got like 65% field goal percentage. They're legit. Cleveland stumbled a little bit out of the gate. You got some teams in the East that are struggling a little bit here and there, but like, no, Detroit is legit. Coach, what up, Coach?
Look, speaking of unlikable people, here I am, everybody.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what it is?
Coach,
you don't message me no more. You don't send your videos directly to me. You send it to Sirius, and then he routes it to me. So you don't like me.
You said you were having trouble with like the program and stuff like that. So
I'm back.
Yeah, so if you back up, then like you'll start getting the videos again and stuff like that. But like I said, it's like your unlikable king is here. So hello everybody.
Heels have eyes, Coach.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but we're talking about Nico. I saw you chiming in. I don't know if you want to quickly hit on that before we get into some college football, or you want to talk about the business.
I mean, I can kind of rewind real quick because like I was following along while I was prepping my games because I didn't have nothing ready. So I was following along because I gotta get these lines together and stuff like that. Anyway, Nico Harrison, it's funny because he got his marching orders and followed them. Then they were like, whoa. Like it didn't go the way they wanted it to. So and then you got the fans, him and Han. They didn't get off to a good start. I think Larry is correct. I think if they got off to a better start, I think maybe they're like, okay, but then you just see what this team is like now, and they're at the bottom of the Western Conference where they belong. But that's another story for another day.
Damn right.
Well, yeah, but I mean, good couldn't happen to a better group of guys. But anyway, if you believe Shams and like all this reporting comes out that Jason Kidd knew, because Jason Kidd tried to distance himself from this, and it's like,
yeah, you're right.
It's like, okay, again, like I said in the chat, it's like sometimes things so stupid happen that it has to be a conspiracy. It can't. Sometimes just really dumb things happen. Sometimes people do really dumb things, and the Mavericks did, I think, a really dumb thing in trading Luka, and that's just me. I think he was the franchise, he was the guy, and he's beloved in Dallas, and they loved him. And look, it's a situation where I think ownership is like, hey, we messed up. But again, you need a fall guy. You can't. I say this all the time. You cannot fire the owners. You can't fire them. So who can you fire? We can fire the GM. We can fire the guy who we pushed out in front and made him tell everybody, "Oh, we did this for defense." So like let's push that guy out. And I hope Nico Harrison was compensated handsomely for being the fall guy for this. Because if not, then it's just ridiculous. And it's funny because the end of Cuban's tenure had a lot of controversy, a lot of bad things went on, stuff like that. And it's just like this new ownership, they just kind of took right where it left off. It's just you take the stuff that was happening in the front office in those last days of Cuban tenure to now, because I mean honestly, and this is a little inside baseball here, or at least my thoughts on it is like I think it was almost kind of like a Donald Sterling thing, where it's like the NBA, the rest of the governors was like, we got to get Cuban out of here because we got to kind of suppress this story, because if y'all remember, it was some wild stuff going on in that Mavericks front office. That if that story would have, because remember that story came, and as quick as it came, it was gone, and the next thing you know, Mark Cuban selling his controlling on his own,
controlling interest, right?
Controlling interest in the Mavericks. All of a sudden, just out of nowhere. So again, I just talked about Larry saying conspiracies, but it's just like that's my part of the conspiracy. I think
that front office was Thor going to see Zeus.
Yeah.
You know the reference.
But Larry, you put something funny in the chat. Like they didn't even show the lotto balls, right? They don't even show the lotto balls.
Okay,
They don't do it. They don't do it anymore. They don't. I remember growing up, you would see the ping pong balls. They'd be like, oh yeah, like it's the Caucasus. It was like, oh, it's the Caucasus, New Jersey. We had the lottery. They don't do that no more.
Yeah. At least have the chick rolling the damn
Look,
thing, right?
Let me put this on your brain right quick, right? We all know how the NBA and all these leagues operate, right? Luka gets traded. Mavs get the number 1 pick. Chris Paul gets traded. Pelicans get the number 1 pick. Anthony Davis gets traded. The Pelicans get the number 1 pick again. LeBron leaves Cleveland. They get 3 out of 4 number 1 picks. Steve, we are Rockets fans. You know how hard it is to get 3 out of 4 years number 1 overall pick? Dude,
you know how bad the Knicks have been for years, and we never get into the top 5.
Yeah. I was like, you got a Knicks fan on the show now. You gonna talk about like bad lotto luck, like that?
And then they'd be like, y'all got Ewing. What the hell y'all mad about? That was like
30 years ago.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Like the game is the game, man. Like it is what it is. It's just like, but So that's the thing with the Mavericks. It's like the Mavericks franchise has just gone from one bad situation to like another one. But I do think ownership is trying to cut their losses. Just like, okay, y'all, we got Cooper Flag, we got this stuff like that. Like, let's drop a nuke on this and let's just start over. So instead of prolonging it, they just getting rid of it now. So it's like, I guess good on them. But real quick on the NBA, the Pistons are smoking. Whether you like or don't like JB Bickerstaff, is like he has this team playing with purpose, and like the team that I watch a lot of, the Rockets, they don't play with purpose. They're very good at basketball, and they just go out there and they just happen to put the ball in the hoop more than the other team on a given night, but this Pistons team is playing with like unity. They're playing as one unit. It's like they remind me, and I said this a couple weeks ago, they remind me of the Thunder, the way they play. They play as a team. It's one unit. They play. It's beautiful basketball to watch. Again, like the Thunder. They look like they might do it again. So it's crazy what they're doing. I do want to send out some well wishes to my baby boy magicians. Rough go, rough start for my young magicians. I think they're having some buyer's remorse on the Bane trade.
Desmond.
Because a trade that was supposed to be, this is going to put us over the top. It seems like it's kind of stunted the growth a little bit. Yeah, I think it stunted the growth of. I think it kind of messed up the flow of what they had going on in Orlando. And I don't know. It can get better, but man, it's bad now. But it's the East, so it's the East. So even at, I think they're 3-6, they can still climb their way back into this thing because it's the Eastern Conference. Yeah. But
coach, I don't think the coach knows how to use Bane. For watching these games, I don't think he knows how to use them, and that's part of the problem. Is you come out, you go get a guy that's the last piece, but the coach doesn't know how to use him. So everything looks disjointed. It looks very disjointed.
Yeah.
Like nobody.
There's no flow. It's like you saw this team last year, and just defensively, offensively, you kind of knew where the ball was going. You knew what was happening. It's like this is Paolo's team, and then everybody kind of like satellites around him. But then when you have a guy, a vet like Bane, who comes in and is like trying to like be the vet, it's like, no, this is Paolo's team, dog. Right. Like you need to fit in around Paolo. You need to fit in around Bogdan. Like we have 2 young alpha dogs whose team this is. You just need to be the vet and fall in line. And it's not like it's not your team, dog. It's like they brought you in to help the young guys along, not to like, it's my team now. And I think when that gets settled, and I think when they kind of realize and come to grips with like who is running things, who is the stars here, who like what makes this team go. And when Bane learns, because again, it was part of the problem in Memphis with him, where it's like, it was like, hey, this is Ja's team. And then if Ja's not here, then it's Triple J's team. And then if Triple J isn't here, then it's your team, Desmond. So just had to throw some love, some concern
The
to my,
problem,
my, my precious basketball magicians. So,
the
Well,
problem I see Orlando is you got two guys in Wagner and Paolo that aren't very assertive.
no.
So you got the old guy coming in who is assertive, coming from Memphis, and these two guys like, well, I want to tell him no, but he's the vet, and they brought him in, and then the coach is like, well, should I say something?
Yeah.
Right. You think a time will tell, like, will heal all wounds kind of thing? Like they'll figure it out after like the first 20 games and get
This is a team now where look they're about to play their 10th game here pretty soon, I think. So it's like I would like, and I've said this all the time, like when Larry and Sirius and going off about the Rock stuff like that, it's like let's revisit this on Christmas Day. Let's see if we still have these issues on Christmas Day, because that's when that's when I really start to look at a team and like, okay, what is this team? Because you usually can figure out what a team is by Christmas. It's like what are they going to be moving forward? So I do believe that it's some chemistry issues. It's like part of what made the Magic good, part of what makes the Thunder good. See, the Thunder, they don't go out and just go get anybody; they get the right person.
Right.
It's just like and you have to fit into. It's like the Thunder shouldn't do anything because it's like they have such a good vibe and such a good thing going. Where it's like you bring in somebody, it would mess up the vibes. And I feel like with the Magic, Desmond Bain has to get used to them and not the other way around. But I do think there's going to have to be a sit down. Somebody's going to have to sit down with Desmond Bain and be like, look, these young boys are good. These young boys will lead us. They just need you to kind of like keep them together a little bit. Just you have to be the veteran presence. That's why they went and got you. They didn't want to do the trade because they thought like, okay, we need the scoring. We need like he's shooting like 18, 19 shots a game. On a team with Paolo Banchero and Wagner, you should not be taking almost 20 shots a game. You shouldn't.
Not at all. Not at all.
So
And
I mean,
they'll figure it out. I agree with you. They'll figure it out. So it's like you said, it's a long season, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I think especially early in the. Go ahead, Larry. Sorry.
No, go ahead. My bad, Barry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, especially like early in the season, like the Knicks had lost a couple games in a row, got blown out by Chicago, and everybody thought the sky was falling. Early in the season, you're such in a football mode, like one game can be like, oh my god, and it's like, dude, it's like 82 of these damn things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, pause. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Larry.
Oh no, I just wanted to put it on there for the record, bro. Nico Harrison, of course, they don't release their contract details, but he just signed a multi-year extension last year.
Okay, so he's good.
He's good.
He's
That's like Thibodeau. Thibodeau's still mad, Larry. He's still mad. He got 30 million reasons why he ain't mad. He's still mad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, did you hear this? So I'll end the NBA.
30 million and shut up and go home.
What do you say?
Yeah, I haven't heard this. Yeah.
So I don't know if you, Coach, might have heard this, but like Thibodeau, it was talking to Fat Joe, and Thibodeau, Fat Joe asked him to come on his podcast, and he said, "Yeah, get my number. Yeah, get my number from Worldwide West." And he's like, "Worldwide West? I don't talk to him, man. I don't talk to him." Like, you still like you got $30 million, man. You still mad? Like,
bro,
I know you.
I love it.
Like,
petty. Be petty. Be very petty.
Yeah, of course. Come on, I ain't co-signing that. Listen, shout out to everybody out there, but you listen to Total Sports. I'm gonna pivot right now. College football, and then we'll talk some pro, some NFL talk, and then we'll get you out of here. The college rankings, for the college football playoff came out today, a couple hours ago. Not a lot of surprises. What's that?
Boy, did they.
Yeah. It's like, not a lot of surprises. Ohio State still 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, Alabama 4, Georgia 5. 4? What's that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, they're good, man. Georgia 5, Texas Tech 6, Ole Miss 7. I think Texas Tech leapfrogged them. Impressive win by Texas Tech beating BYU.
Yes.
Coach reviewed that game. That was not much of a game. They dominated that game from start to the defense. Oh my god, I hadn't seen their defense Coach. They
I,
are legit.
I told you about the defense. I was like, everybody so used to Texas Tech, like offensively light it up. Like
Yeah.
that defense, they can get pressure with just the front four.
Right.
They don't have to
Yeah.
blitz. That defensive line is so good. They don't even have to blitz.
Who's the defensive end? Who's that defensive end out there?
What's his name?
I can't remember his name, but he was all over the place. He was a terror. But yeah, shout out to Texas Tech. Really good game.
Freshman look like a freshman, and that's the thing.
Yes, he did. Yes,
he probably look like a freshman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Bear. He's gonna be good, but he definitely got exposed as a freshman. But Oregon number 8, Notre Dame number 9, Texas in number 10, Oklahoma and BYU rounded out. Yes, I know. But Oklahoma and BYU would not get into the playoff because of the top 5 conferences championships would get in right now. If it ended right now, Miami would be in, and South Florida number 24, they would be in. Miami's number 15, they would get in. Oklahoma and BYU would be on the outside looking in. So those are the college rankings. Coach, I know you got your ideas of the rankings. I don't know if I'll let everybody else go, and then Coach, you do a great job with college football. You get mad views, dude. I love that. But I mean, any surprises right now in college football with the rankings right now?
Texas shouldn't be ranked. I'm sorry. Texas shouldn't be ranked.
Not ahead of
BYU. Not ahead of BYU. I'm sorry. No.
Agreed.
That was a tough loss, though. That was a tough loss.
It was their first loss of the season to a very good Texas Tech team. You're like, I'll be quiet.
Texas shouldn't be ranked ahead of BYU. I'm sorry. Come on, bro. We don't watch Texas all season. We watched them all season. We didn't watch Sarkisian fumble the bag all season. Come on. Does anybody trust Texas to win a game that they actually need to win? I don't. I think Oregon should be higher. For whatever reason, they got something. They still think this is the Pac-12 Oregon. They ain't paying attention. This is Dan Lanning in the Big Ten Oregon. These boys can play. Ohio State and Indiana, man, I can. But in South Florida and Miami, come on, son. I just watched South Florida.
They're going to get in.
South Florida has to get in. They have to get in because you have to have the Power 5.
I know, but I would take anybody other than South Florida. Oh, that's the American Conference, right? South Florida?
Yeah.
AAC. Leading. Oh, don't call it the AAC. They hate when you call it the
I would take James Madison. I take South Florida. I would take.
No, but they don't like it when you call it the AAC because it's too close to ACC. Because it's too close to ACC, and people get confused, so they get mad. So they want to be called the American.
American Conference. Well, they kicked my UConn Huskies out, so the hell with them. So and my UConn got a big win against Duke. Holla at your boy. Let's go Huskies. Let's go.
I would take James Madison before I take South Florida or Miami, simply because I've watched them choke on the Peach Pit in games this season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. Is, to me, what the playoffs should be about is teams that actually have a chance to win. Yeah. Don't put in some teams that ain't got no shot to damn win, so that the guys you want to win, so all the Paul Feinbaumers in the world can get all the SEC teams in. Miss me with that. South Florida, bro, I love the quarterback. They have choked on the Peach Pit a couple of times this season. Couple times. Yes. So that's all I got.
Well, the rankings show it. They're number 24, but because they're going to win the American, they're going to get in. And Miami, even though they've struggled, they're in a clear path to win the ACC, so they're going to get in. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, but I am surprised that the committee didn't give Indiana a little bit of a harsh run, because they had a tough time against Penn State, even though it's on the road. Terrific game. I was messaging you guys during that game.
Oh my God.
But I'm surprised that they didn't get dinged and moved down in the rankings. When, to your point, it was BYU's first loss, they moved down, right? And Texas, I felt like Indiana and Texas A&M should have flipped, Coach, because Texas beat another ranked team in Missouri, and that was a good game. And Indiana had trouble with the under 500 team, so that's my opinion. But
I give you a little preview of the 5. Yes, like. Yeah, okay. the Aggies and the Hoosiers have flipped. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. Brian, real quick, what do you think about the rankings so far in college football?
Yeah, I mean, I actually agree almost completely with what Chandler said. Unfortunately, I don't want to just be a sound pit, but Oregon should be higher. Oregon should be higher. Their only losses against Ohio State, the number one team. You look at Ole Miss, Georgia, Alabama. They just all beaten up on each other. Oregon should be higher. They've only lost to that number one team, and then BYU. Listen, you're talking about them losing to a top 10 team. That's their only loss on the year, and they dropped down to 12. They're behind multiple teams in Oklahoma and Texas that have lost to an unranked team. So it's BYU should not have dropped that much for sure. And the other team that I think could be kind of sneaky is Texas Tech. Texas Tech could be kind of sneaky depending on how they finish out their schedule.
I think it's going to be tough for BYU to get in because I don't know if they're going to have a track to get into a conference championship, right? Coach,
they went out. They went out, and some other stuff happened. I mean, because they only have the one conference loss. The Big 12 is kind of wild as it always is. But
right.
in again, shameless plug, like I said in my video, if you're watching my previews for the week, BYU winning that game would have put them in the Big 12 championship.
Yes, absolutely.
Texas Tech, because Texas Tech won that game, now we're probably going to get a rematch of this game. Which
I'd sign up for that.
I think that's what BYU needs. To be honest with you, they got to prove something. If they want a chance again,
right, Coach. On a neutral site, I think
it'll be a neutral site in Dallas.
That's a Texas
You're right.
Tech
I
win.
apologize.
Texas Tech win.
Let's say it again.
Texas Tech will probably beat them again. Because from what I seen Saturday, it's just again BYU will regroup. They'll get back off the mat. They'll get their stuff together. But it's just like the way Texas Tech beat them. That game could have been on Jupiter. It don't matter where you play the game. I just think this Texas Tech team is better than BYU. It's just flat out. That's just what it is for me. I think they'll end up playing them again, and I think Tech will beat them again. So.
Yeah, Tech is really impressive, and I agree with you guys. Oregon is kind of getting a raw deal. I think their schedule didn't play out really well for them. I feel like, they needed a big game out of the Big Ten, and I don't see a lot of it on their schedule.
Penn State, which was supposed to be a game they were going to hang their hat on, it gets worse and worse every week, that goes by. And again, it's just look.
I think they'll get into the. You think they'll get into the Big Ten championship? I think they'll get in.
They still got a game against USC, and if USC wins this week, they're going to be a top 15 team.
Who?
Okay.
USC.
USC.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm saying Oregon still has a shot as long as USC, who obviously is my team, but as long as USC takes care of business this week versus Iowa, Oregon will have a chance at it will be in Eugene, but they'll have a chance because you'll have another top 15 team that they're playing against that they could potentially boast that resume.
Yeah.
But be careful about taking care of business because death, taxes, and ugly Iowa games is what they can always have.
Iowa, and listen, I already know Iowa's a team that you hope to win 20-15.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever the line is, bet the under.
Yeah,
I say this all the time. I say this every time we bring up Iowa. It's like playing Iowa just doesn't look like a good time. And then Oregon had to play them in a rainstorm, a literal monsoon. It didn't look fun. It didn't look great. It was just like they barely got out of there alive. And it's just like when you go into the damn snake pit that is playing Iowa, it don't look like a good time. Iowa's not even having a good time. It reminds me of a movie, The Watchmen. Where Horseshoe says I'm not stuck in here with y'all. Y'all stuck in here with me.
Here with me. Yeah, exactly. Great line.
And that's what playing Iowa is like.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, if we're going to be miserable, you're going to be miserable too. So, yeah.
Yeah. Larry, what do you got in college football this week? Crazy with the rankings and all the games. What do you got?
Man, since we quoting great lines, man, I'm going to quote Flavor Flav when he said 911 was a joke. These damn polls is a joke, bro. Bro, this is y'all heard me say it before, man. I don't like the fact you get these rankings, preseason rankings, and some of these teams they just not that good, but then they factor in. It's like, oh, well, you beat this team and they were number 5 at the time, but they're unranked now, but you beat them because they were number 5 at the time.
The committee doesn't do that. The committee is very like, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, but it still pisses me off, and I'm not a fan of Miami. But how do you have Miami ranked higher than Notre Dame and they beat Notre Dame?
Well, no, I mean in the polls, or you're talking in the polls, or
no, we're talking. The only thing that matters right now is the playoff season, which Notre Dame is. The polls don't even matter. I haven't mentioned the polls not once since it's the time of year where who cares about the polls?
But in the playoff seeding, Notre Dame is higher than Miami, who they lost to. Miami had some horrible losses. But
exactly, and that's why Notre Dame is higher than them.
But we also took in effect.
Who did Notre Dame lose to this year?
They were 0-2.
Who did Notre Dame lose to? Miami and Texas A&M, right? Those are the 2 losses.
Yeah. But I feel like if you got 2 losses and I got 2 losses and I kick your ass, I should be ranked higher than you.
Yeah, but Larry, that you know as well as anybody.
The Miami team that just lost. The Miami team that lost to Louisville, who just lost to Cal.
I'm just saying, bro. But then, if that's the case, you look at a Georgia team and a Bama team, but Bama won against Georgia, so Bama's ranked higher. So make it make sense.
No, that's true.
So
Georgia's been climbing up the rankings and they haven't been able to leapfrog Alabama.
Yeah, but they're not going to leapfrog them because they lost to Alabama. So for some teams, head-to-head matters, but it don't matter for
but all losses aren't created equal, Larry. It's not that's the whole thing of it.
If we run in a race, bro, and we finish with the same record, and I beat you, I should be in the playoffs, and you should be sitting.
But Larry, here's the thing. Why I hate to break it to you is like, so if we're running a race, you can't dispute that. So basically, what happens is you have these people who get in a room in Dallas and decide who are the best teams in the country. So it's not like okay, you won the race. You can't dispute that. It's like there are humans involved who are making this decision.
Yes,
so people
and they want to push the SEC up, push them in the playoffs, push them in, because it's nowhere in hell. Like I say, you see this and you know that they
Notre Dame don't even play in a conference. So what agenda they push with Notre Dame?
I'm saying that they push these teams in because they want to elevate who they want into these playoffs, right? And I get it. The college playoffs is different than what the actual poll rankings are, but they look at that crap because if that's the case, how in the hell did BYU lose one game to a ranked team and fail that damn far?
Because you look at the body of work. It's like, again, a BYU wins that game Saturday. BYU might be, who knows?
If you had to put it like this, I'm gonna put it like this, and I'm gonna tell you right now. This is why I don't like. I say it's a joke. If BYU faced Ole Miss right now, who you taking?
Ole Miss.
I'm not.
I'm taking BYU.
I'll take BYU.
Really?
But I hate Lane Kiffin, so
And I'm just saying.
Larry, the guy who agrees with you has a well-documented dislike of Lane Kiffin. So it's like,
yeah, but I'm just saying.
Everybody, he just like everybody.
You can't stand him.
But I would
nobody.
You got to use a different example, though, man. Ole Miss's defense is nowhere like if you would have said Georgia, like I'm there with you, but like
Ole Miss is ranked 6 spots ahead of BYU.
Because they're winning and they didn't just lose, they just lost. I get you. I hear you.
They only got one loss on their record. That was to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, and it was a 1-score loss. It wasn't a 20-point loss like BYU.
But if you had,
iron sharpens iron, man. It's like you can say what you want to. It's like the SEC, and of course I'm putting my SEC guy hat on, whatever like that, like SEC. But it's like let's keep it a buck here. It's like you look at a conference like this. You want to talk about Miami. You look at the ACC, home of Boston College, home of Stanford, home of Cal. I can keep going. I mean, it's like the
Golden Bears.
Don't you say my team? Don't you say my team? I'll kick you out of here.
Bro, all I know is North Carolina won 2 games in a row. They trending upwards. All the people killing Bill Belichick, are they eating their words now? Because that
Now,
team,
look, yeah. North Carolina's looking good. I have to say, I'm one of the people who killed them, and it's like they're playing a weight team that all of a sudden is like this weight team is like they're wild, man. It's like you don't know what to expect from this weight team on a given week. You know, that should be a very good game on Saturday.
Yeah,
Like North Carolina.
I'm not worried about the Giants, John. I'm on the Wake Forest.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
Listen,
I'm on the Wake Forest.
Bobby Petrino, offensive coordinator, Rex Ryan, defense coordinator, keep Cap as the head coach. That team was in the playoffs next year.
We'll see, but I mean, like Larry, I agree with you. I don't think I've looked at the rankings much because like you look at like to your point, Ole Miss, right? One of their big wins is an LSU team that was 4 at the time. Now where's LSU now, right, Larry?
But then they beat Oklahoma on the road.
Yeah,
they beat Oklahoma in Norman. That's a hell of a win for that team.
Right,
you know,
that's a bigger win than the rest. So I don't know, but yeah, it's interesting. We'll see how it plays out.
Again,
you know,
going down that same rabbit
to
hole of put as many SEC teams you can in the playoffs and push the other teams out. We're going on that rabbit hole once again.
I know. Listen.
Meanwhile,
okay. So
we know you're SEC guy, Steve. We know you're SEC guy.
No.
You know how you are.
No, but I'm just gonna start naming teams, just random teams, just off the top of my head. So Ole Miss, Alabama, Georgia. Okay, I'll give you Texas. Okay, and I'm a Texas guy. I'll give you that. Okay, fine. So then Ole Miss, Georgia, Alabama. Like, so I mean, what do you like? Do you put them out of the playoffs?
No, those three
They're
can
not
be in.
to be in the playoffs.
Those three can be in. Ole Miss, Alabama, and Georgia. Yes.
Texas A&M, SEC team, guys.
Yeah. So that's
like,
Texas has looked so shaky this season, bro. It don't even make no sense. But of course, they beat a team that was 12
slots.
So they pushed
12 slots.
So they pushed.
So you're not talking about the Big Ten. The Big Ten could have 4 teams in the playoffs.
Who?
Dude.
Who? Ohio State, Indiana, well, 3 teams. Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
That's 7. Give me 5 more.
This is why I hate these polls, bro. This is why I hate what they do.
No. I'm just saying. It's like you talking about.
Hang on. Let him finish.
Because you know why I hate these polls, and I hate that they push this every year. And I know CK gonna agree with me. CK, didn't we pull it up last year? What was the SEC's record versus other teams in these bowl games?
Bro,
they under 500. They are under 500, bro. These other teams are kicking their ass in the playoffs, bro, and they losing. So stop it. Stop pushing these teams and ranking them up, putting them up high, bro, and pushing them.
So who do you put in the playoffs?
I'm just saying, you drop a BYU that far, bro. Dude, for one,
Larry, who do you want as your 12? And you can put all your conference.
I'm not saying I put it in, but dude, I'm in Texas, bro. It's nowhere in hell Texas should be in the top 10 spot, bro. Nowhere in hell. They've been shaky all year. They barely win a game.
They're a 2-loss team.
It doesn't matter. They're trash.
I don't care.
See that you can't use the metric. Because they're trash. You know what I'm saying? It's like
they've been looking horrible.
Yeah.
They've been looking horrible, but of course you beat a Vandy team, so now we push you back up. We put you back on the pedestal.
It's gonna shake out. I feel like right now it looks bad that they're the 10 team. I think eventually it's gonna shake out.
Listen, the reality is this week they play Georgia. They lose to Georgia, they're dropping past 15. They're a 3-loss team. If they beat Georgia, this is a non-issue because nobody's gonna say they don't deserve to be there. They beat a top 5 team.
I bet you an Arizona Iced Tea that they do not drop past 14.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
I disagree on
because they lost to Florida and dropped all the way out of the damn AP poll.
Yeah.
So
you got to look at the 4 or 5 teams right behind them, like Georgia Tech, BYU. I mean, all these teams are looking like they're going to win this week.
Oklahoma, another SEC team, is when Texas loses Saturday to Georgia. Oklahoma's gonna be there. Then, oh my God, it's another SEC team in the playoffs.
Oklahoma's gonna lose at least one more game, so they'll be out.
Right. That's what I'm saying. A lot of this is gonna play itself out. I think there's like 2 teams that have a legitimate gripe if it started today, and I'll tell you one of them right now is Georgia Tech.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Georgia Tech.
So, like, let's let this play out. But yeah, if this was the final week, we would definitely be having a conversation because I'm sorry, there are certain teams that maybe had a slip up, but we're talking like you lose by 3 points or something. And then there's teams where it's like BYU. And listen, I love watching the smash mouth football that Utah and BYU play on the West Coast. I watch a lot of those games. But the bottom line is, if you can stop the run, BYU don't have a whole lot of arsenal in that offensive package. You stop the run, they're very, very basic, right? Yeah. Georgia Tech, I think, is a very interesting team, and if they can win out, I think that's going to be a team that could give teams fits.
Yeah. I mean, I have Georgia Tech in my top five. I feel like lost. Yeah, I mean, it's like yeah.
So Georgia Tech has a good chance. I think they'll go 2-1. I don't think they'll beat. They got. I think. Well, no. I thought they beat Georgia. I thought they were.
They got to beat Georgia. That's what it boils down to. They have to beat Georgia.
No, I agree. Well, no, because I look at it like this: they got to win their next ACC games, so they got to beat. They got to beat.
Yeah, but listen,
they're going to beat Boston College. So
Barry.
But
Boston College is 1-9. Pitt is
Listen to me.
If Georgia blows them out by 25, they're not making it.
No, they will. If they win their ACC games, they get into the ACC championship.
Then if they win ACC championship,
they're
okay. I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. They're in.
Okay.
The Georgia game is moot. They can be a 2-loss team, still win the.
I think it's not moot though. In order for seeding, you know what I mean? Like they need that W in order.
We're talking about two different things, Brian. Like you're talking about seeding. I'm talking about getting in.
Right.
I think they get in because I think they can beat Miami.
I just think they have a legitimate chance of winning if they don't get pushed in the shitty side of the bracket. We'll say.
But let's not forget that money drives this particular train. So there's certain teams that. The people at the 4-letter network, people at the 3-letter network are going to keep pushing up and telling you that they deserve to be in, as we've seen already this season. They're telling you that certain teams, the Feinbaumers of the world, I ain't gonna say his first name. Y'all know who I'm talking about, that bald-headed clown. Because money drives this train, bro. Money drives this train. And at the end of the day, that committee has to take into account what fans are going to travel to these places and how much money they're going to make on ratings. Okay? Mm-hmm. Listen, I love James Madison. If it comes down to James Madison to Texas, who do you think is coming? Who do you think is getting in?
Texas. It could be a 3-loss Texas. I get what you're saying.
It could be a 4-loss Texas.
I get what you're saying.
James Madison or Texas. They take in Texas, you're right.
Bro. But listen, we got to. Can we be fair? Like Georgia Tech had a bad loss this week.
They had a bad loss. They had a real bad loss. So,
I agree with you, but that's a bad loss.
It also doesn't help that George Madison lost by double digits to Louisville, right? Yeah, like Louisville's a good team, but I'm saying
blown out, then they blew somebody out. It's the teams.
Yeah, Memphis.
Oh my God, and Memphis. Oh my God, you lost to UAB. I don't want to hear about Memphis having a shot to get in when you lost to UAB.
Yeah.
They lost to UAB and then they lost to Tulane, so Memphis is done.
Memphis is done.
Bad loss Friday night. Good call on that.
But they're still propping them up, though. They're still saying Memphis has like a 25% chance to get in, and this is what I'm talking about. The people that are driving this are the basically the PR firms of the NCAA, which is the networks that broadcast their games. Okay, so it behooves them to keep pumping these teams up. There's no way in hell Memphis should have even been in the conversation after lost to UAB. I'm sorry. There's no way you should even been in the conversation. I love Chris.
No, you're right. You're right.
Guy. You lost to his son who never coached a game in his life. He ain't coach his kids. He ain't coach Pee Wee. He ain't coach nobody. Okay? He ain't coach his wife in labor. All right? And he beat you. Bro, I'm sorry.
That's tough, man, because I mean, even I coach my wife a little bit.
The man ain't coach nobody.
Man, I mean, we didn't do the breathing exercises. I said, breathe, woman, breathe. Listen, I'm good with that, man. Listen, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out, and there's still gonna be teams on the outside looking in, and people are gonna complain because that's just the nature of the business.
But
so
they like that because what does that do? That drives interest.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
They
absolutely,
do, bro. Like, dude, we talk
SEC
about
and
those-
Big Ten will have multiple teams, 100%.
I
we
love
talking
how
about
the Big
losses,
Ten.
Hold on, hang on. Go ahead.
I love how the Big Ten just skates by. It's just like the Big Ten. They make more money. Their deal is more lucrative. The Big Ten really kind of runs college football. Everybody's like the SEC. Ooh,
But the SEC is louder. But the SEC
Mhm.
people are louder than the Big. See, the
Yeah.
Big Ten, they keep their head down and they just keep doing their thing. You got you got the Feinbaumers of the world. And listen, let's be honest. Who do you listen to? You listen to the quiet person, you listen to the loud person.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the top. The top two teams are still Big Ten teams, right?
Big Ten.
So,
And nobody
go
talks
ahead,
about it.
Larry.
And
Go
nobody
ahead.
talks about it.
No, I was just gonna say this, right? Let's just say, like I say, it's all gonna shake out, right? But just to say, we have a and I'm saying this because I'm here. You have a Texas team that's probably gonna have 3 losses, right? You got a Michigan team who's lost to Oklahoma, ranked team.
Yeah.
Who they lost to USC, ranked team, and they're probably gonna lose to the number 1 team, Ohio State.
No, they're not.
And they will put in a 3-loss Texas team over a 3-loss Michigan team. And those 3 losses for Michigan.
I would pump the brakes on that one.
Absolutely not.
Those 3 losses for Michigan are all quality losses, and Texas has lost horribly.
But see, Larry, I don't think if Texas loses another game, they're done.
They're done. Like I keep trying to tell people, listen to the Texas guy. If Texas,
they got to run the table.
If Texas loses this game on Saturday, they're done. So you don't have to worry about the burnt orange bad guys anymore. So then now let's move to like Michigan. Michigan, if Michigan finds a way to win out, there's no way they're not in the playoff. No way they're not in the playoff.
Yeah,
and
I would.
If they get a quality win against Ohio State, they're in.
I don't think they will be because remember they're still complaining about them winning that championship and Conor Stallions and blah 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 blah. They're still talking about it, bro.
I don't know.
They're still talking about it.
Listen, and keep in mind with the Texas Longhorns, like if you look at their schedule, 2 of their next 3 games are against top 5 teams in the polls. So they win out, they deserve to be there. Bottom line, I don't care if they're a 2-loss team. You beat Georgia and Texas A&M. They deserve to be there.
And here's the thing that might make people mad. So let's say they lose to Georgia.
I'm just saying, if they win out,
I'm just saying if they double back and they find a way to beat A&M, the game's in Austin. They find a way to beat them. Then I can understand why people would be mad if they get back in the playoff. But then it's like, well, they just beat the number 3 team in the country, maybe even possibly number 2 team in the country.
I mean, if you're being honest with Texas, really what it boils down to is nobody likes the Florida loss because you can't blame them for the loss week 1 by 7 points to Ohio State.
Why can't
right?
The Florida loss is the
because everybody everybody lost to Ohio State. So all I'm saying is they lost 1 game ugly to Florida. All the other games they've won, if they beat Georgia and Texas A&M, they're going to be a top 6-7 team.
Yeah, I got to disqualify myself, and y'all know why, because you know about me and Sarkeesian. So I'm going to disqualify myself from Texas.
Hey, listen, they will all tell you here, I bang on Sarkeesian all the time. I'm just saying, if 2 out of the last 3 games on your schedule is against top 5 teams and you're currently ranked 10, you're going to be a top 6-7 team, maybe higher, depending on losses, if you win out. The question is, can they win out?
I hope not. I really hope not.
Yeah, and the thing is, that Florida loss was disgusting. That could end the season. Like I said, it is the thing that might keep them out.
That's the bonus. Yeah.
It might actually keep them out of the playoffs because it's like if you sit up here and we really like kind of, and if Oklahoma finds a way to win out and like Michigan finds a way to win out, that you're gonna look at the resumes, and I don't think Texas would make it over Michigan or even Oklahoma at that man because it'll be like
they won't make it over Oklahoma, but I think they'd make it over Michigan because the NCAA still has an axe to grind with Michigan.
But not if Michigan has a.
How do you keep them out if the last game of the season they beat Ohio State?
Because you can put in Oklahoma. Because you can put in Oklahoma and not Texas. If Oklahoma,
I get it, but it's going to be the most televised game of the year. I mean, we all know the backdrop. it's going to be impossible to keep them out.
But also, what will it do? It will create controversy and drive what? Ad sales.
Well, yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, and this is my final thought on it, it's like you talk about this, talk about that. Who should be and who shouldn't. At the end of the day, they got to sell ads. At the end of the day, it's a television show. You need ratings. You need people watching it. So this is why Notre Dame will skate by.
All those teams have mega fan bases. All those teams have mega fan bases.
Yeah, because it's like
we're not talking about Memphis. We're talking about Michigan.
No, that's why the real like people who miss out on this are the James Madisons.
Oh yeah, they need to expand to 16, and I think they should make it an absolute must that one non-Power 5 conference team has to be in.
If they expanded to 16, they'll throw it in there because they already like the Mississippi State AD came out the other day and was like, we really don't like these automatic bids.
Yeah, I know.
So then if they expand to 16, James Madison will never make a playoff.
Absolutely. Absolutely not.
But that's ridiculous that you can't have an automatic bid, because then why am I in a conference? What's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point?
They don't want conference. They just want everybody to be in the SEC.
No, but that does.
But
listen,
right?
They
want two conferences, right? They want just two conferences.
Yeah. East and West. They want East
and West, North and South, right? I think that they want to split it that way. So to Larry's point, even though it's not SEC, Larry, but they do want just two conferences, right?
Yes.
And I feel like the Mississippi State coach that said that, or AD that said that, really is trying to allude to the fact that we don't want the conference, but that's money,
bro.
They don't want these Power 5 teams. They don't want James Madison or Tulane or Memphis. They don't want these Power 5 teams who don't travel, who just gonna get their ass kicked anyway.
Yeah,
and you're not buying tickets. You're not generating any kind of money, whatever like that. Nobody cares. It's like that. That's what they want. They don't
want my Huskies in it.
The reality is in that situation, the small market team has everything to gain and nothing to lose.
Yeah,
they get whooped by Alabama. Everybody expected it. If James Madison beats Alabama, what egg does Alabama have on their face? Right. There is literally no good that comes out of that from the quote unquote legacy teams. Right. Also, that's why they don't want it.
Keep in mind, the Big Ten is about to sign a deal that's going to exclude Michigan and USC, and they don't even care because there's so much money on the damn table.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a thing. It's like, and again, I don't think they should do this private equity thing because that's a slippery slope.
Yep,
but like, again, once again, it's like you listen to the loud person, not the quiet person. It's like, Chandler, most people don't know what the Big Ten is doing. The Big Ten is about to privatize college football.
Yep.
Okay, but God forbid the SEC team get in the playoff. It's like I said, like if you are paying attention, the Big Ten runs college football.
Yes.
They just don't say nothing. Like Chandler said, they just shut up and they just keep their head down. The Big Ten run this motherfucker. I'm sorry for the language, but it's like that's what it is. You know,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. The deals that they get are absurd.
That's $2 billion, bro. $2.8 billion, and they're going to exclude two of the most storied names in college football because they don't want to get on board.
Because Michigan and USC realize how bad it looks.
Yes,
you know, but like Rutgers don't care.
Nope.
You think Rutgers
want that money? Yeah. You don't think Rutgers want that money? They don't care.
Missouri, anyway. Rutgers, Vanderbilt, they need that dough, man. They need that dough.
Nah, man.
So we'll see how that shakes out. Hopefully, we have something to report on that next week when we talk. But I want to move into the NFL. Then I want to go to bed because I'm tired. Right. Real quick, Travis Hunter done for the year.
Of course.
He's had the LCL injury. Yeah. Listen, being a two-way player in the NFL ain't the same as a two-way player in college. I'll let you guys chime in on it.
No, let Larry talk about that first. Let Larry talk about that.
Yeah. Remember, Larry had a lot to say on this.
Larry, go ahead.
Dude, let a unicorn be a unicorn, bro.
Yeah.
Dude,
on the bench, hurt.
I'm just being for real. We talking to two Niners fans over here? Is he the only person hurt? No, I don't think, dude. Because you got to think about it. They were actually monitoring his snap count. So even if he was playing 10 on offense and 10 on defense, or 20 on offense and 20 on defense, he's playing the same amount of snap counts as anybody else, and he's hurt like everybody else is. Like, y'all know how I feel about injuries. Like, we just talked about Paul Tagliabue and him hiding about the concussions and all this other stuff. Dude, the NFL don't even say, hey, look, we're trying to look into see what's up with all the ACL tears, what's up with all the Achilles tears. We're not looking into none of that. God forbid. I bet you they don't say, oh, let's open up an investigation into MetLife. Dude, hey, look,
there's nothing wrong with MetLife.
Dude, my boy texted me. He was like, bro, I hope we make it out of MetLife without no injuries. And I was like saying to myself, I said, please don't let it be CMC. Don't let it be Mikael Williams. Oh, man. I almost made it. Almost made it, man. Look, like I say, I don't look at the Travis Hunter being out for the season as he's playing offense and defense. I just think is that the league has a league-wide problem of injuries, bro.
Yes,
they just do. And it don't matter if you're a rookie, first year, second year, third year. It kind of it balls back to me with the whole Shannon Sharp thing. I hate to keep dropping up everybody's name from everybody else, but he came out and he said, he was like, dude, as a football player, your body has to be conditioned to running at full speed, stopping at full speed.
Yep. They don't get hit anymore.
Taking hits. They literally don't even do like practice for like 3 days before. Like they're literally like, oh, we did a walkthrough. Go play football. Go have fun.
They can wear shells like twice a season. Like they get 2 times they can wear shells during the season. That's it.
Yeah, and that's it. And I think that's the bigger problem with a lot of these guys, that their bodies are they just not conditioned to this stuff. So it didn't matter if it was Travis Hunter or Hunter Travis. It didn't matter. Injuries are injuries. And look, Barry breaking news hey, look, hey, coach, CJ hurt. Texans know. We all know how all of our teams have been affected by injuries in some type of way.
Not mine. They traded everybody.
Oh yeah,
and they won.
Now they're winners. They're winners.
They won. They won
some traction.
They won because
all they had to do was trade both their all pros, and now they're winners.
Yeah, because the quarterback threw for less than 50 yards. The quarterback threw for less than 50 yards. Okay, and then you got
the healthiest team that's done how to play football.
You should open the door. Then you got the coach at a doggone press conference talking about, as Rich Cimini says he know everything. I'm gonna say this again. Aaron Glenn, you're a clown. Aaron Glenn, you're a clown.
No, they won. I'm not gonna let you do this. I'm not gonna let you do this. He's won
got no pouts on the wall.
No,
hey,
stop.
Listen,
behave.
not to add fuel to Chandler's fire, but Chandler, didn't Bryce take like a swing pass for like 45 of the 50 yards? Didn't the running back have like I could have swore he took a swing pass for like 45 yards and got a touchdown.
He was 2 for 3 for 5 yards until the fourth quarter. 2 for 3. 2 for 3.
Look, listen, if you can win and not have your quarterbacks throw, man, more power to you.
You know what? When you're playing against Dylan Gabriel, I mean, all things are possible.
They won.
Yeah, all things are possible.
2 special teams touchdowns. Your running back should have had like 50 carries. He only had 20. Bro.
Yeah.
Bro. But they won. We're talking about
get your W's up.
I want him.
Look. You can maximize this or minimize it. You can minimize this all you want to. They won.
You guys ever see the Untouchables? You ever see the Untouchables?
Yes, one of my favorite movies. Actually, yes, Kevin Costner. Yeah.
I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burned down to the ground.
Cut his mic.
On his ashes.
Stop.
Now,
say hello to my little friend.
I'm just joking about the death thing. I'm just using the line from the movie.
Dude, I wish I had problems like that. I wish my quarterback could stay in the game and win a game. I mean, come on, man.
Hey, listen, that's a giant thing. That's totally different. Totally different.
Bobby Petrino, offensive coordinator. Rex Ryan, defense coordinator. Mike Kafka, head coach. You're in the playoffs next year.
No, don't do that to him. Don't do that to him.
No, absolutely not. I do not want Petrino, Mike Kafka.
Every quarterback Bobby Petrino has put in the NFL has been successful. He runs a pro-style offense. He runs an offense in college that Jackson Dart's familiar with. He hasn't gotten his
you just go get Lane Kiffin in. Go get Lane Kiffin in.
Why would you keep Mike Kafka? He's the OC.
Because Mike Kafka. No, I'm gonna tell you why.
Continuity.
First of all, Mike Kafka wasn't going to replace Brian Daboll. Secondly, Mike Kafka barely missed out on the Seahawks job to Mike McDonald. The Seahawks were willing to hire him. Okay, we see what the Seahawks are doing. So they wanted him, which tells you that all the organizations value what he does. He's put in the work. He's experienced. It's his time. But you got to give him some experienced people. I'm telling you, bro. Like I told you at the beginning of the year, before the season started, Daboll will get fired, and you argued with me. I'm telling you, if you hire Petrino and Rex, you're making the playoffs, man.
Whose offense are you running then?
You run an offense that fits the quarterback you got.
That's not what I asked you. Whose offense are you running? Are you running Kafka or Petrino?
And Petrino have similar ideals when it comes to the offense, so it won't be a problem.
I honestly feel like if you watch my video that's on YouTube on the Executive View channel,
you know that.
I'm just saying, shameless plug.
I
don't think an offensive mind needs to be the head coach. You get a defensive coach to be.
That's why you bring in Rex to run the defense.
No, you bring in Rex to run the team. You don't bring in Rex to run the defense.
You're going down the rabbit hole, brother.
Listen, I love Rex. Rex would have been a great coach with the Jets. Rex is not a good coach with anybody else.
No, I don't want Rex in the Giants organization. No, I feel like you get a defensive coach. That's what I feel you get.
There's nobody out there.
You have a young quarterback to develop. Who's the defensive minded coach that you're going to entrust to bring along your offensive superstar?
Bill Belichick worked with one of the greatest.
Belichick is not coming out of college at North Carolina.
I don't want Bill Belichick. You had a defensive coach that worked with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Okay, so who do you want as your coach, Barry? Who do you want?
Brian Flores.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
What I love
he's not going to get a good offensive coordinator.
It doesn't matter. Let them figure it out.
I
want Flores. I want who are you? There's three coaches that I mentioned: Jesse Milner,
go ahead.
Brian Flores, or Steve Spagnuolo. Those are the three guys that I want.
Oh my God! Steve Spagnuolo is a great defense coordinator. He's not a good head coach. We've already seen that.
He's not going to go back. Barry, he was already the head coach there. They're not going to hire a retread.
I don't care. I
understand.
Do you want to
win? We get that you don't care about winning. We get you don't care about winning.
In the last 9 years.
Do you want to win, bro?
No, he don't care. He already said he don't care.
Do you know how numb I am right now?
I'm a Jet fan for over 50 plus years. Don't talk to me about numb.
Yeah.
My last real good team was in 1968. Don't talk to me about numb.
That's right.
I'm numb.
I'm an Angels fan. Don't talk to me about being numb.
We need to start a poll. We need to start a poll.
You've seen 4 champions.
Wait. All right. Let's go around the room, and I'm gonna ignore Brian and Chandler because you pissed me off. Larry, who do you want to be the Giants head coach? Who do you think should be the Giants head coach?
Dude, you know who this is my opinion, bro. I think it's gonna probably be like a Josh McDaniels, bro. I keep telling y'all that. I keep saying that. Don't agree with me. Dude, how many times have you seen them hire a defensive coach and you got a really good young quarterback, really good young running back, and a really good young receiver, and it worked out? It's not working out too good on that Texas offense, right, Steve?
I just don't think Josh McDaniels can run it.
They had a hell of a game, and I get it. He's made mistakes, but they're gonna probably look at the fact of what he's doing with Drake May and say, we're going to bring him in to work with Drake May, Cam Scatterboo, and Neighbors will be back next year. It's going to be one of those type
example,
of guys,
Larry, that's a perfect example. They brought in a defensive coach to run New England with a strong OC and a young quarterback, and it worked.
but they can't take Vrabel because they put in McDaniels. So if you
No, but
bring
I'm
in like a
saying
Brian,
the Patriots brought in Vrabel, a defensive coordinator with a strong
yes.
OC with a young quarterback, and there's what 8-2.
No.
8-2,
But
right?
what I'm saying is that you can't bring in a first time head coach
Right.
with
I don't
Right.
want a
like,
first time
yeah.
head coach. I don't want
No.
a first-time
I'm
head
not
coach.
saying Brian Flores. I'm just saying is that if you bring in a first time head coach, you can't do that. But you know how these leagues are, bro. They look at it and they like, oh my God, look at what this guy's did with this person and what he did with that person. That's how you think Ben Johnson got that job. Like Ben Johnson is, he's been good for the Bears, but that's how they
let's not
look at
forget
stuff.
Ben Johnson turned down jobs because he wasn't ready yet. Remember, he got
But
criticized for that.
But
Yeah.
that's how they look at it. But
Yeah.
that's how they look at it because they look at like, hey, I got this hot young quarterback over here, and okay, cool. I need to get this offensive dude. That's why they brought what's called into New Orleans because they knew they was gonna draft a quarterback, and they was like, no, we got to bring him in. That's the reason why Steichen is in Indy because they was like, no, we're gonna draft a quarterback. We're gonna take a quarterback.
Look
We
how
gotta
he
have.
messed up Anthony Richardson.
But this is what the logic of most teams are. If you have a Jackson Dart, they bring in an offensive guy.
All right, Steve, who you got for the Giants?
I like the Flores pick. I don't know. Like I've been talking a lot to like a bunch of Ohio State people lately. What about Matt Patricia?
Oh, hell no.
What the hell?
I don't know.
He hates you,
I don't
Barry.
know.
He hates
I don't
you.
know. Yeah.
You might as well go get Marty Schottenheimer at this point. Like, goddamn.
So okay. I'm John Mara. You're Joe Shane. Steve,
Okay.
convince me that Matt Patricia is the right choice.
Well, I just told you I've been talking to a lot of Ohio State people, so I've been hearing a lot of people talk about Matt Patricia. So,
I thought you were going to say Ryan Day.
John Cooper. But seriously, like that was the Flores. That's where I would go with the Giants because I feel like Flores, like his tenure in Miami, we all know what happened down there, and I feel like he learned from that and kind of matured and stuff like that. And I feel like given a second chance, like New York, he won't be scared of New York.
No, he wouldn't.
Some coaches are scared of New York. They're scared of the limelight. Flores will take that right. He'll run right into it. The bright lights in the media, he won't crack under the pressure.
But
and I think it would be
Flores because they're part of his lawsuit.
Because
that's the only reason why it would.
Yeah, because it was like, hey, congratulations, Brian.
Belichick, he interviewed. It was between Flores
it was Belichick
and
that let
Dable.
the cat out the bag that he wasn't
Yeah,
getting.
Belichick was like, hey, Brian, congratulations.
Well, Belichick said he didn't recommend him. He said, no, don't get Flores, go to hire Dable.
Yes, and the Giants followed that.
So that was a part of so that's the only reason why I don't think it'll happen.
But I think Brian Flores is going to be a good head coach, Barry.
He's going to get a second chance, and he's going to be good. I think it's similar to Raheem Morris, where I think Raheem Morris, the first go around, he was kind of learning on the fly, stuff like that. And I think he's doing much better this time around because he's just not. He learned. He had to take his lumps. He had to kind of fall down and kind of get back up. So I think Flores, wherever he gets another shot, I think he'll be much better for it this time.
I think. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Barry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and I think that Flores had Tua, and I think Tua was mentally weak to be Flores' quarterback. Jackson Dart is not that. Jackson Dart
he's not.
Is tough.
But
is a tough kid.
I'm looking at, okay, I got this young quarterback, right? And I'm looking at his skill set, right? And I want to bring in an offensive mind. Well, let's say we go with Brian Flores. I still want Bobby Petrino as your OC. So no matter how this flows, I want Bobby Petrino as your OC with Jackson Dart. Because if you look at the quarterbacks Bobby Petrino's been successful with, they all have pretty much the same skill set. From Louisville to Arkansas to everywhere he's been, that skill set. And the thing with him is he makes them full field readers in college. In college, he makes them full field readers. So now you take Jackson Dart, you get him to read the full field and stop running headfirst into 500-pound men, right? Now you got your quarterback for the next 10 years. You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And that's why I keep saying Bobby Petrino. Now, if you hire Brian Flores, I still think Brian Flores might hire Rex Ryan as DC because they think very similarly. Because what you want is strong coaches around your head coach. These coaches that don't like hiring strong people, they always fail. So you get Bobby Petrino, strong personality, Rex, strong personality, Brian Flores. Tell me somebody on that team that's going to step out of line. Tell me somebody on that team that ain't going to show up to work.
Where's Bobby Petrino right now?
Arkansas again. He's the interim head coach at Arkansas.
Yeah. He's actually the coach at Arkansas again.
Yeah. So
because that was a coup. That was a coup. Chandler, that was a coup. They set Sam Pittman up, and I don't like what they did to Sam Pittman. But anyway,
they should have fired him in the offseason. They should have fired him because everybody knew he wasn't going to last the season.
I mean, I like the idea of bringing in a good OC. Like in my mind, like North Turner is one of the greatest offensive coordinators the game's ever seen. You bring a guy like that under a good defensive-minded head coach.
Yeah.
Now you got something, right? Like that's why
Josh vice versa
is a great OC. So
what about Chip Kelly?
Oh hell no. He's screwing over.
Are you trying to trigger me? Are you doing this?
Like I said, I've been on Buckeye Twitter all day, man. Y'all gotta excuse me, man. I got a name for you. I got Buckeye on the brain, so I'm sorry.
I got a name for you, Barry.
Go ahead, Larry.
Robert Saleh.
Who?
Yeah.
Robert Saleh.
What?
No. Robert Saleh.
No.
Robert Saleh.
No,
absolutely.
Robert Saleh is not a strong person.
I don't know.
Yeah,
so,
bro,
while
he's
going to get
he's
another
a great
job,
coordinator. He's not a head coach.
I think he's going to get another job, Chandler. I don't. If that's the hire that Joe Shane brings in, you might as well pack your bags.
Yes,
because the Giants, New York,
is going to eat Saleh alive. They're going to eat him alive.
No, New York will hate that hire. Now, I think Saleh will be a head coach, Larry.
But if you bring in Saleh with a strong OC,
no, it doesn't matter.
Saleh's
not built in New York, bro. He's not built in New York.
Saleh had his chance in New York. It ate him alive.
Yeah, he's not built.
He didn't have all the tools in the tool bag like he have going to the Giants.
Robert Saleh in Atlanta works.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you, Barry, couple guys I'm curious about, right? So we've been talking about you needing, potentially an experienced guy, somebody who can bring in staff around them. What about Mike McCarthy?
I wouldn't hate McCarthy.
I mean, we all know that he got lame ducked in Dallas, but considering everything that Dallas went through after he left, he actually held them together pretty good.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't.
We know that he's an offensive-minded coach.
Yes.
We know he has a lot of connections throughout the league.
Yes.
So I really like that one. The other one I was going to ask you about is, and he falls under the Shanahan tree, is what about Clint Kubiak, the Seattle offensive coordinator?
I like Clint.
Who's he bringing in as his DC?
Getting him out of.
That's the thing. That's the problem with all these young guys. Chandler, is who are you bringing in? But he was the passing game coordinator and assisted with the quarterbacks when he was in San Francisco before he went to Seattle. So I know that he has direct experience with quarterbacks, with passing game coordination. And the reality is, let's keep it a buck. Now, I understand Sam Darnold could fall apart, but the fact that he has this man looking like an MVP talent with essentially one wide receiver, he's done miracles in Seattle. Miracles.
That I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. And then what about, here's the wild card. What about Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame?
Marcus Freeman ain't leaving Notre Dame, bro.
But Chandler, for that kind of job, you're talking about that's center stage New York.
Freeman is smart. He can stay in Notre Dame the rest of his life.
He's at one of those jobs already, Brian. Like when you think about football as a whole, college pro, he's at one of those jobs you don't leave. This man converted to Catholicism. He ain't going nowhere.
No, he's not leaving. But dude, as an African American, you don't leave that job.
No, you don't.
You make them kick you out.
Yep.
Kubiak will be a head coach in a year or two.
That's not a bad thought. Kubiak, if we can get him a really
he
good
was number
DC.
5 on my list. He was number 5 on my list, but I want a defensive-minded coach.
Right.
But if it was any offensive-minded coach, he would be my guy. I think
I'm gonna tell you the guy.
He's chip off the old block, man. He really is. He reminds me so much of his dad. He does.
I'm gonna tell you the guy in 3 years who's gonna be a hot head coaching candidate, NFL and college. Neuheisel's kid.
Yeah.
He's got Nico looking like an actual quarterback.
So give it time. I think he'll I think maybe 5 years.
3 to 5. 3 to 5.
I do like him too.
Yeah.
Why I push back on McCarthy is that he tried to modernize himself when he got the Dallas job.
Yeah.
And you could clearly see he was a puppet.
Yes.
And a lot of the bad habits in Green Bay, he didn't clean up in Dallas. Like the undisciplined team, the false starts, the penalties, all that kind of stuff.
Time management.
And Giants have that problem already. That's why I push back on McCarthy. I don't know if McCarthy gets another job after this.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he wants one. He lives in the Pittsburgh area. I seen him out and about a couple months ago. That boy looking real comfortable, looking real. He enjoying not having no job. You know.
So
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying Freeman, but I would not be surprised if one of these big time college coaches would be willing to come out for New York. I mean, remember Saban left for Miami. I'm just saying, eventually you always want to test at the next level.
Yeah, but Sarkisian is already trying to leave Texas. So go ahead, Barry. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I mean, for me, Joe Shane would make the biggest mistake of his life trying to bring a college coach up. You need an experienced coach to settle this thing. 6 coaches in 9 years. You need an experienced guy.
Willie Fritz is the only college coach that I would take on an NFL roster right now is Willie Fritz because he has won it. I'm literally every single level.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't. Can you take that chance if you're trying to save your job as a GM?
But see, you know how I get down. It's not about me. I ain't trying to save my job. I'm trying to do what my job says I'm supposed to do, which is make the organization better. But we know that's not how they think. So
that's not how they operate. And just last thing, and then we could kick around NFL stuff and then get out of here.
I can see them taking a swing on a college coach though.
I just don't see it. Me personally, I don't see it. But you guys can prove me wrong. I mean, that's what we're here. Do you guys think the Giants is a coveted job?
Yes.
Yes.
It shouldn't be, but yes, it is.
No, it shouldn't be. Quarterback, running back, defense, wide receiver. What's wrong with that job?
Well, the problem isn't with the job itself. It's the same issue that the Jets have. It's a prime market. That's why I'm saying it should be. But look at the GM and the decisions the GM and the ownership have made over the course of the last 10, 12 years.
I do not like Joe Shane. I don't like Joe Shane. Everybody knows that.
Right. So I'm saying that's what I'm saying. He's your boss. He's who's hiring you.
I'm about to say a big butt here. Big butt.
Okay.
That man can spot talent. He's brought in talent to that organization. I can't stand him. I think he tried to be smartest guy in the room. I hate people like that, but he has brought talent in. If he picks the right coach, Joe Shane will be the GM for the next 15 years.
Because this Giants team could have won 4 games that they lost this year.
Easily.
And I look at it like this, and then we can move on. I look at it, you got a quarterback. I think Dart is your guy. Yes. You got a receiver and Neighbors.
Yes.
I think you got
2 receivers, bro.
Wandale Robinson's a good receiver. You got Cam Scatterboo, so you got those pieces. I think the offensive line is better than a lot of people think.
It is,
and you got talent on the defense.
Yes.
And you got a number 3 pick.
Yes.
That's why I think it's a good job.
It's a really coveted. That's the best job out there right now.
I was gonna say I would go as far as to say it's the best job available right now.
Right now, because what's the other one on Tennessee?
The Tennessee job, bro. Do you really want to deal with that owner?
No, not at all.
No.
Don't that Miami job gonna open up though. We know that Miami job. Will it though?
Yeah. If Mike McDaniel, whatever the hell his name is, old McDaniel, whatever, Capri Pants. If Capri Pants gets fired, would you take him?
Take him where?
I mean, look what he did year 1 in Miami.
With them 3? Like, real talk, people talk a lot of crap about McDaniel, but you got to remember, the Dolphins was a dumpster fire before he got there.
That's true.
And they're dumpster fire.
They were really bad. And they're better, but it was really bad before he got there.
The good old stable Miami Dolphins, those steady Dolphins.
Like I say, Dude, he'll be back under Shanahan, and somebody will be calling for Clay Kubiak because he's the OC.
Yeah.
People are plucking off that Shanahan tree.
I would love. Miami should, if the Giants don't hire him, Miami should hire Kubiak. I really think he's going to be the next head coach. No.
I'm talking about the other one. I'm talking about Clay. Clay, the little brother. He's
little brother.
He's the Niners OC. He's the Niners
Larry,
OC
would you rather coach Miami or New York?
New York, dude. Real talk. Hey, if you had to deal with a big market team and you know what all comes with it, you get the glitz and the glamour, but you get the BS too, right? And if you had a choice between the Jets or the Giants,
I'm taking the Giants every day.
I'm taking the Giants, hands down.
Right.
There's no way I would work for the Miami Dolphins.
It's not a bad job. Like, especially if you believe in Dart. Like, potentially they have their franchise QB. Their offensive line is fairly good. They've got a good up and coming young running back. They've got 2 good wide receivers, and they've got a decent defensive line. Like, I mean, they're
good too, Brian. The tight end's good too. Theo's been playing a lot better.
Yeah. So I'm just saying it's not a bad job. What makes it a bad job, the reason why I said what I said is because of the volatility. Like Chandler said, like, there's a good chance the GM could be gone next year, and like, where do you stand then? Like, does he want to bring in his own guy?
But that's
you know
the
what
thing.
I mean?
Since they letting Joe Shane run the search, he's going to bring in a guy that's going to benefit him, which means
no, that's what I'm saying. But what if things go sideways?
But see, Joe Shane just bought himself 3 years by getting rid of Dave.
Maybe.
Himself 3 years.
But then you know what? I'll put this out.
It's at least 2. Because Mara don't like firing people. This was the Tish's move. This wasn't Mara.
Yeah.
This was the Tish's.
Well, Mara's in charge. The Tishes
he might be, but he got pressure from the Tishes to finally move on from Daboll. Because he didn't want to fire Daboll in the middle of the season. He don't like doing that.
And the rumor was and I think we talked about it. I know we didn't talk about it last week. They wanted to fire him after last week's game, and they got talked out of it.
Right.
That's the rumor.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Mara didn't want to, so he let himself get talked out of it. Now he couldn't. So if Shane, whoever Shane hires, buys him 2 years at minimum, that's 2 years. At minimum he's got before that coach then has built up enough. What's the word?
Cachet.
Thank you. With ownership to knife him in the back and get him up out of there.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna ask the two New York guys this, and I'm gonna ask a real question, right? Mm-hmm. I can see them luring like breaking news, say a big time college coach there, or one of these really hot shot coaches there, because I look at it from the standpoint of how sometimes these coaches, they, like you said, they want to move up and see can they win on the next level. Mm-hmm. What coach does not want to say, I won a championship in New York? Tom Coughlin probably eat everywhere for free and drink everywhere for free.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Bill Parcells probably ain't paid for nothing in New York in forever in a day.
Bill Parcells and Tom Coughlin are gods in New York. So is Bill Belichick, and he was just a defensive damn coordinator.
And that's what I'm saying. So do you guys see a coach that would be like, you know what? I'll take that challenge, because if I win one in New York, I could be on a Broadway play tomorrow, and I'm 80 years old, and I can do what I want to do.
Ryan Day.
Mm-hmm. Ryan Day, who was almost fired last year.
Going to the Giants. Yeah.
And then they went on the run, won the championship, and now all of a sudden it's just like,
and now his poop don't stink. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Ain't nobody mentioning the fact that they tried to fire him last year. And so, Ryan Day is great.
Well, I did. That's why, I had the Ohio State fans on me. I was like, it's funny how they change. It's like, y'all ready to fire him. And guess what? If they lose to Michigan, they're going to be out again. Like, oh, we can't beat Michigan.
And that's why I can see him go ahead and go into the Giants. Like, you know what? I'm tired of this nonsense. Y'all in Michigan. Let me get the hell on up out of here.
I thought y'all another curveball. Nick Saban.
Oh, hell no.
No.
Nick Saban.
Man, I don't think so.
That man was wrapped up in that blanket watching football.
He already did the NFL thing and said, you know what, this salary, why would I get 1 first-round pick a year when I can get 10 of them? But he hated the salary cap. He hated all that.
Yep. Yeah, but if you go to the NFL, you dealing with the same stuff you dealt with in college.
Listen, you know who's had a really good year, kind of under the radar, and the team's played well, and he always seems to kind of run out of steam a few years after joining? What about Lincoln Riley?
He's not losing.
I take him as an OC, not as a head coach.
That name is not a little bit.
I'm just saying. Listen, younger dude
what he
has
gave
done.
up to go to SC, he would look really stupid leaving SC.
No,
For all
I
he
understand.
did and all what he did go to SC.
I understand, but I'm saying opportunity wise, I'm saying he always does really well with quarterbacks, young
Better than Bobby
quarterbacks.
Petrino. Better than Bobby
He's
Petrino.
always had a really good offense. His issue is always like what Barry was saying. It's the other side of the ball. Like his teams don't always play defense. You pair him with somebody that can play defense, just like Chandler was saying with Bobby Petrino. You pair him with somebody that is a good defensive mind. I think you got a winner there. But once again, I don't want him to go because I'm perfectly happy with him staying in USC country for now. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these top 20, top 25 coaches is lured. Like people are going to be, oh, wow, he's interviewing for that job. I mean, it's a coveted job, and it's a good job right now.
One that makes sense for me is Lane Kiffin.
I was gonna say, and I said Lane Kiffin. Everybody like Lane Kiffin is the one that makes sense. You know,
That's the only one out of college to me that would make sense, and I still wouldn't do it.
Lane Kiffin is still an immature punk. He in his 50s.
Sure he
He's
is.
still an immature punk.
Now, but he's got the Jackson Dart connection.
Okay, but do you really want Lane Kiffin running your organization?
No, absolutely
not.
Not.
Really. No. That's why he works in college. It's like the things that he does, like the hijinks, the running up on players, like he can't do that in the NFL. That's why he's a college coach. Because so again, Lane Kiffin it makes sense.
I would love to have Lane Kiffin as my OC.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
sure, why not?
Yeah, of course. But I can't have him
Will he leave
in front of a microphone every
to
week.
be an OC?
No, you don't let him talk. You don't let him talk at all.
No, but his
mic's not plugged in.
I would not let him. I would not trust him to hold a press conference every week for my team. It's like no. But I guess that's my whole thing. Like with if just the dark connection and that would work. But I mean, I don't know. It's just I do think the Giants should go defense. But we'll see because it's it's the best job available now.
It is. And there's no really coaches out there. That's why we throwing so many names against the wall. There's even the last couple of cycles, there's been a couple of coaches who that guy's gonna be good. If he gets with the right team. Yeah. There's nobody out there right now that you can definitively say, I know this guy's gonna be good at coach outside of maybe Kubiak, and we're just really kind of guessing with him.
What about Joe Brady?
I've seen Joe Brady. Joe Brady was a head coach before in college, wasn't he?
He was the OC. I don't think Brady was the head coach.
Okay.
I think he was the OC for the LSU team.
Yeah, he was. You're right. Something about Joe Brady screams assistant to me. Something about him screams assistant.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's still a little young, just to be honest. I mean, I know there's some hotshot coaches that are ready to coach in their early to mid 30s. I feel like he needs a few more years of seasoning, if nothing else, just to kind of be able to, like you guys are talking about, be able to handle those pressers. When you're up by 10 points in the fourth quarter and you lose, that's going to be a rough press conference. It takes a certain, panache, if you will, and I don't know if he's quite there yet.
Oh, I got the guy for you, Deshaun Foster.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so thanks everybody for showing up today. I'm gonna get everybody out of here. We had a good time tonight. I appreciate everybody for coming in. That's like farting in the middle of a party. You just cut the room up and cut the cheese, cut them. All right, so we're done here. Thanks everybody. Brian, thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming on the show. Get us out of here. Taylor. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? It was a pleasure, boys. Always a pleasure to talk sports. I hope whoever's out there listening to this, I hope it brings you a little bit of peace of mind. Definitely tune in. You can jump in the chat. You can ask questions. We'd be more than happy to chop it up with you. But we're always here every Tuesday night, and I know the boys are busy throughout the week. But man, it's just a real pleasure to chat with you boys every week. We may not always agree, but we always leave somewhat as friends, other than me and Barry. All right.
Yeah, because he just talks a lot of junk, and I can't tolerate that. You know what I mean? So, but thank you, Brian. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for ending the party on a high note, Deshaun Foster.
Yeah, I know, right?
That man need a job, man.
You said you wanted to go to bed, bro. It's 10:59. I knew you wanted to go to bed, so I figured I'd just throw the grenade in the middle of the damn room. You know, it's Veterans Day. If you have the opportunity, go to your local shelter. Ask them if they have a veterans program. Talk to some of the veterans there. See what help they really need. And I know with everything going on, what Schumer and the rest of them clowns did is terrible. But at the same time, is it so terrible because now people get to eat? See, two things can be true at the same time. People need to eat, bro. People need to eat. And I get that there's some terrible stuff coming behind it, but people need to eat. And if you have the ability, go to your local church,
food bank. Go to your local food
whatever
bank.
supermarket. You can buy an extra bag of groceries if you have it and donate it to them because people need food. That's all I got, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service, man. I appreciate you. Listen, he's absolutely right, but I don't want to get political on the show. Steve, Coach, you know what to do, bro. Get us out of here.
Yeah, so Chuck Schumer, but like no, but seriously, I was late to the show today because I was talking to my cousin who is a vet, just giving him, a bunch of love today because proudly served our country in the Navy for 12 years, so I had to give him a little love today on the show. Dennis, I'm never calling you Dr. Mosley. Okay, I know you watch the show, I know you listen to it. I'm never calling you Dr. Mosley. You always be little Dennis to me. I'm never calling you Dr. Mosley. I don't care how many degrees you get, but anyway. Hey, as far as me personally, I got the 5 right here on my legal pad that I always so that will be coming here pretty soon. Still got some games I want to look at for my weekend review because there's some. The slate's not as good as it was last week, so I'm still kind of fishing for some games to look at for this week. But hey, you see the show, share the show, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, like X,
YouTube.
Formerly known as Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Backstage business, be on and popping. They're gonna have a lot to talk about. The execs, man. We doing this, man. Like y'all know how I close it. God is good
all the time.
Make sure to drink your water. Stay hydrated. I know it's getting a little cold up here in this part of the country. Still got to make sure you drink that water when it's getting cold. And of course, get them dubs up. Wu-Tang is for the children. And Max be home, y'all. Max be home. The wave god is home.
Thank you, Steve. We'll see you tomorrow, brother. Appreciate you. LG made the opening crawl, baby. Get us out of here, baby.
Hey man, it's been a pleasure today, man. Once again, thanks to for his service. I got quite a few vets in my family. Shout out to them. Happy Veterans Day. I know we was talking a little bit about things that happened in the day, but I'm gonna just share my great news. My mom bought a house for her first house. She's in her 60s. Hey, I gotta give a shout out to my mom, man. I'm so happy and proud for her.
Dukes.
Yeah, Mom Dukes closed on a house, man. I'm actually low key jealous because her house is nice. It's real nice. I'm low key jealous, so yeah. But it's all good. Hey, look, I can't be more happier for and I'll just say it like this, man. We got more stuff coming. I gotta get with CK, man, because looking at this boxing schedule, it's about to be fire. This UFC closing out the year is about to be fire. So we got some more stuff in the pipe works. I already told Aaron, look, we about to come on. We're gonna be a gold rush over here. The gold rush is coming. I can't let y'all boys get ahead of me with all y'all stuff. So it's coming. It's coming. But yeah, like I say, keep sharing the show, keep following the show, keep subscribing to the show, keep up the momentum we got going. And like I say, man, always a pleasure. I'm out.
Later, Larry. Listen, I appreciate everybody coming in. Brian, Coach, Larry, you guys do a great job. Shout out to Sirius, couldn't make it tonight. He's at like I said, he's at a Taylor Swift concert, getting his dance on. Nah, I'm just kidding. But, honestly, we all hold it down for each other. We all pitch in. Tomorrow we'll be back at it, backstage business, doing a little wrestling talk. WWE, big week happening there, heading into Survivor Series. Great time for sports right now. We're everywhere. Sports talk, total sports, and doing the backstage business. We're on Instagram, Threads, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify. You can find us anywhere. Share the show, like the show, follow us on all our socials. We got a lot of things brewing for us, and we're doing big things. So I don't do it like Sirius does it, but we out. I appreciate you, everybody.